Since 1999, only 2 teams have won the Big 12 South. Is it possible that that changes this year? Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz and CSTV's Trev Alberts with you, breaking down the Big 12 exclusively here on CBS Sportsline. And more than just the Texas-Oklahoma dominance, the South as a whole has been absolutely dominant. Texas and Oklahoma have won the last 3 Big 12 championship games. Combined score of 133-13, but more than that, last season the South was 13-5 against the North as a whole. But, Trev, there are people that contend that the gap is narrowing a little bit. Are you one of those people?
As a former North guy, I have to tell you, I'm quite embarrassed at those numbers you just repeated. Maybe the gap is changing a little bit. I guess you could say that Nebraska has made some progress under Bill Callahan. Obviously, Gary Pinkel in Missouri trying to make some progress there, winning 8 games last year. But to me, I still think the South. I mean, I'm sorry. If you look at a team like Texas A&M, you look at Texas Tech, I think going into the season, had they been in the North, they might have been the preseason favorite. And we haven't even talked about Oklahoma State, an outstanding team as well. So I still think that the gap is pretty large. The South is much better.
All right, the dominance of the South, that's Oklahoma, Texas. But is it possible there's a third team that could join those two?
I think Texas A&M has a chance. I really do. I think it's about time for Dennis Franchione to get it done. I mean, if you take a look at this team right now, Javorsky Lane, you got to love a guy who's 280 pounds and plays running back, averaging over 4 yards a carry. Stephen McGee back. He had 12 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. The problem is the schedule for an A&M. They're at Miami, they're at Texas Tech, at Nebraska, at Oklahoma, and at Missouri. That's a lot of ats. That's a problem for A&M. I think talent-wise, they're closing the gap, but I'm not sure that – I think they could be better than their record shows this year.
A lot of pressure on Dennis Franchione to win bigger now, and that includes wins against Texas and Oklahoma. He had one last year against Texas. You take a look at those two teams, which one has the more complete package?
You know, I think Texas has more talent. I really do. I think that Colt McCoy, 29 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions, had a remarkable season. You know, Jamal Charles, I know there's some issues there. Defensive. I got to say this about Texas. I want to be very careful with this. I think that this team could be absolutely dominant if they were a little bit tougher. And I say that, I mean, football players, the worst thing you can say to somebody. But this is still a team, I think, with the kind of offense they have, Lima Swede, 3 wide receivers, they ought to be able to line up with the talent they have and maul people. Absolutely maul people. They haven't consistently been able to line up and maul people. I'd like to see them a little more tough on offense. That's not right. A little tougher on offense and run right at people. Then Colt McCoy would be even that much better. I think that Oklahoma, on the other hand, is going to be very good. I think they're loaded on defense, extremely fast. Alan Patrick had a remarkable season. Yep. I think they're very good as well. I think that Bob Stoops, again, with all that happened last year and all the uncertainty and the suspensions and all this and Adrian Peterson getting hurt, he's just that steadying force, and they find new guys. DeMarco Murray's a freshman. Don't forget that name. He's going to be outstanding. I think those two teams, again, battle it out. I think because of the toughness factor, I think Oklahoma's going to win it.
All right, in case you're wondering, by the way, one of the suspended guys, Rhett Bomar, where he is, he's at Sam Houston State, and he is to be the starting quarterback this season for that team. Your surprise team in the Big 12, it's also out of the South.
Yeah, it's Oklahoma State. I mean, this is one of the few teams that was able to average 35 points a game, and it's offensively. We've talked about great offenses. Bobby Reed, 29 touchdowns, a terrific player. He counted for 29. He had 24 touchdowns through the air. 8, Adarius Bowman, an outstanding wide receivers. Don't forget about Artie Woods. And Dontrell Savage, 800 yards rushing. The problem with Okie State, and the point is, can they get to the next level and win the South, is defensively. They hired Tim Beckman, the linebackers coach over at Ohio State, to come down and run their defense. I mean, they're atrocious on defense. Just like Virginia Tech, we talked about earlier, if they even get marginal defensive play, I mean average middle of the pack, Oklahoma State can contend. They're that good on offense.
Now, they're also spending a lot of money to make Boone Pickens Stadium look awfully nice. It may look good with some extra wins. All right, the other side of the division, Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas State. Those are the only teams that have ever won the North. Ignore the latter two there for a sec. Your alma mater, said to be on the rise, but it hasn't won the league since '99. Missouri hasn't done it since '69. That was when it was the Big 8. But behind Chase Daniel, that is a high-powered offense. Is Missouri the favorite in the Big 12 North?
I think they are the favorite. I mean, I think they're the favorite because they won 8 games last year, and Chase Daniel, I mean, this young man, unbelievable. I mean, a kid how does he get out of Texas? I mean, how does A&M, how does Texas Tech, somebody not want this guy? I mean, he's unbelievable. 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 2 great tight ends, and they spread the field. See those big offensive splits? They challenge the entire field and make it very difficult on defenses. They have to get better on defense. And again, Nebraska, you mentioned it. Some would say that they have made some progress in returning to glory. Here's the deal with Nebraska. They go on the road and play that Missouri Tiger football team. It's all going to come down to that in the Big 12 North. You have Sam Keller, the transfer from Arizona State, running this offense now. I think what Nebraska fans want is they simply want a big-time win. You can say that there's been progress. We can see that. 9 wins last year, but still 5 losses. They played 4 teams that were ranked in the top 10 at the time they played them. And guess what? How many did they win? Zero. They won 0, Jason. And so if you're going to be relevant in college football, when you get a chance to play the big boys, which Nebraska's going to have this year, they're going on the road, play Wake Forest, they have USC at home, they've got to beat one of those big-name teams in college football, and then Nebraska's back. That
USC game comes your way September 15th. All right, so that's what you expect for league supremacy, but other storylines to follow as the season unfolds. Kansas State used to be a powerhouse for some time under Bill Snyder, thanks to the junior college ranks. We'll see if the Wildcats can make it to consecutive bowls after missing 2 straight years. How about Colorado? Son has to listen to dad this time, that being Dan Hawkins, after 5 strong years in Boise State. Now in his 2nd year with the Buffaloes, his son Cody takes the reins of what was the 102nd best offense in the nation last year, and that's a struggle. And then Texas Tech, for the first time since 2002, will have the same quarterback. It's Graham Harrell. He threw 38 touchdowns. Mike Leach's offense. You like Texas Tech to be as good as last season or better?
I do. I think that Graham Harrell, given another year in that offense, I mean, he's talked openly about how he can get better. 4,500 yards passing. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Nobody wants to play Texas Tech. They'll be right there in the middle of the pack again.
Mike Leach's system, absolutely. Well, there's a reason they call him the mad scientist, and that system has worked down there in Lubbock. All right, folks, that's the Big 12, the breakdown. For more on every specific team, be sure to read Dennis Dodd exclusively here on CBS Sportsline, or check out Trev on Crystal Ball on CSTV all season long. For Trev Alberts, I'm Jason Horowitz. Enjoy the Big 12. Take care.